Yo, I'm Vosk. You're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel, and today we're going to be reviewing this. This is the Jasminer X4Q. The Q stands for quiet. It only runs on 200 and 240 voltage. Watch our beginner guide if that's starting to freak you out. But let me tell you, don't worry about it. It's NBD, it's no big deal. So this is an Ethereum classic miner. It earns more than it burns, at least for me, at my electricity rate of 10 cents per kilowatt hour. It has an integrated power supply, which is this device right here, so you just plug in power. It has a couple fans, and then massive heat sinks, and it pushes air through, cools it, and it runs. Right now we're at VoskCoin HQ. It's still a work in progress, like many things in my life. One place I have that I like to run miners that don't use a lot of juice, which will be this one. I'll explain the specs more later. But it's gonna be over here in this corner, right? So I actually have a different Jasminer up there. This is the X4-Q. And it's just basically a bigger version of the X4. And it's more expensive because of that. So I have room over here, but thinking about it, it's hot. It's real hot. Started up the old 86. Gonna get some track time with that bad boy here soon, which I'm pretty excited about. Normally we're driving around the Bitcoin Supra, but you know, I love the green machine. Let me grab this. It's got a handy dandy handle here. Come on, bicep. And actually what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it over here in what we call the RV garage, even though there's no RV in here at the moment. The switch has capacity for me here, and I've got the electrical capacity. Let me put this down. And I'm just gonna lay this thing right here.
Do you perhaps want to mine the Caspa cryptocurrency, or maybe just good old Bitcoin, or even Dash or Cadena, or the venerable Dogecoin? Then you may be interested in Revolution Mining. They offer the ability to buy and host miners with them. Learn more about Revolution Mining with the link out in the video description below. And thanks to Revo for making today's video possible.
So let me show you how quick and easy it is to get this thing set up. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at my network switch, right? And I see that I've got a cable right here, but it's not blinking, which probably means that I took a miner off, which I did. It was actually the Antminer KS3 that was in here for a long time, which is a profitable Caspa miner. This X4Q mines Ethereum Classic, ETC, a different cryptocurrency. Both of those coins are some of the most profitable coins to be mining. So we've got Ethernet plugged in, so it'll get an internet connection, which is port 1 of 2 that you need to complete for mining. Next thing I need is power. Oh, would you look at that? I got a power cable sitting right here. All right, push that in. And now I've got this mining PDU. I really like these things. They're cheap, effective. Altair makes them. We got a VoskCoin code to get a discount. They basically become 100 bucks ship. But what's incredibly cool about them is they have a built-in display here, right? So we get a readout of our voltage, cumulative kilowatts. In the US, you're most likely gonna obviously have 60 hertz electricity, but it's good to see, I guess. Why not? We can see our power factor down here. We're up there. Current amp draw, current watt draw. I also have meter boxes installed out here, so it's a little redundant, but I like them. I needed to get receptacles anyway. Instead of buying, you know, the generic looking receptacles, might as well just slap one of these in here. I'm a total stat nerd, data nerd. All right, so when I see stuff like, dang, you know, we consumed a cumulative 15K kilowatt hours from that receptacle, all I'm thinking is, fuck yeah. Also, look at this guy. What a noob. He's never even been plugged. Looks like the power button was already on. We can see the Ethernet is getting signal, right, with open circuit, closed circuit. And it's just kind of firing up, going through its boot sequence. I'm gonna need to log into it remotely and input my mining data. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna let this thing mine. We're gonna get some real world mining profitability. How much is it really earning? It's very popular to dual mine Ethereum Classic and Zilliqa. Zilliqa is moving away from mining, but they haven't moved away yet. So if that's the case, that's an excellent opportunity to mine a bunch of that coin. And well, you know, if you don't have an allegiance to me, I don't think I got an allegiance to you, buddy. So anyway, gonna set that up and jump behind the computer, and when I get some data, I'll be back and we'll run through how much it's earning, how much it's burning, the hash rate, the power consumption, and basically just break down, is this miner still worth it, or is the Jasminer X4Q old news?
All right, we've got some mining data. So remote it into the farm, remoting into the rig, grab the IP address from your router, use an IP scanner. Once you're in, you'll see the overview page, which isn't that helpful. You really want the status page here. That should be the default. And at that point, we can see our uptime, if we're connected, hash rate average, which is what's important here, and our mining pool information. So I go down to the miner tab and I can input any mining pool information I want. For example, I'm using F2 pool in this review. And then I'm using my F2 pool account .worker name. Password is just coming in as a sneaky 1, 2, 3. Passwords don't matter if you don't know that. And from here, we can also adjust if it's running on ETC hash or ETH hash mining algorithm. This cannot dual mine. For example, like the Bombax miners or the X16P by Jasminer. You can increase the frequency, but I find that a lot of these miners don't do well with increased frequencies, these Jasminers in particular. So I normally run them at their default settings, if not their lower setting. You update it, come back over here, check, status checks out, and then you're off to the mining races. Here for comparison is what the X16P looks like. This is a much newer miner than the X4Q. Even though we're reviewing this, right, this is really an updated review on a new unit, and it's been slightly tweaked to my knowledge, but the point is, this is what their latest generation gear looks like. It's got a completely different dashboard. It's a way better breakdown of information, and the best part about their newest miners like the X16P is that they have the capabilities to dual mine. So when I click on miner on this model, you can see that I can do ETC plus ZIL, not just ETC or ETH. I also tested out these different modes here and found that performance and performance ultra was not helpful. So I just kind of wanted to do that as a contrast of kind of their previous generation versus their latest generation. And if you see zeros across your dashboard, don't panic. It definitely takes a second to fire up there. Ethereum Classic is the 4th biggest cryptocurrency when ranked by daily emission on mining pool stream. That means it's essentially the 4th most profitable coin to mine. Number 5 is also merge mined with number 2, so don't forget that, keep that in mind. Over $250,000 of new coins mined per day. And it would be recommended to not use F2 pool since they have so much known hash rate. I've got a bunch of gear on there, so that makes it easier and quicker for me to have concise data for these miner review videos, but I'm also using other mining pools as well. For example, I just started a test for solo mining on Nervos Network CKB, and I'm using 2 miners solo pool option for that. I was incredibly lucky when I first set these up earlier, and now I'm on a huge string of bad luck at 230%. That means statistically I should have hit over 2 blocks by now on average, but I haven't. But let's keep it focused. So this is the X4Q. And I just have it in the RV garage, so I put that so I know which one it is, where it is, because I have 2 of these. This is hashing at about 1 gigahash a second, and that's accurate on average for the last 24 hours. That poolside performance is important because you get paid per what the pool says you're doing, not what the miner says. That lines up almost exactly with the reported average hash rate here from the dashboard. That's pretty much what we expected this miner to do, so that's fine. This other data is from a different mining rig, actually the X16P. So do not pay any mind to all of that. This was the first day that this miner came online, and this was the first full day of mining profitability. We mined 0.0812 ETC or Ethereum Classic coins. That equates to a whopping $1.70. I don't know where I'm going to spend all of this. I don't think I have enough time. Looking at the breakdown of Ethereum Classic miners right now, we can see that the Bombax miners came out of nowhere and became king. So we got some crazy video reviews on those. I absolutely implore you to check them out. The X16P was a very impressive machine. I really like my X16P. And I was pretty bullish on the X16P until, again, Bombax, new miner manufacturer, by the way, came out of nowhere. So Bombax has superior engineering and efficiency compared to the Jasminer's best units. You look at the X16P and you look at the electric cost, right, versus the revenue on it. It is taking up 47%, whereas the EZ100 is at 26%. That means it's that much more efficient, it's that much more profitable. The X4Q is projected to mine about $1.75 a day. We're pretty close to that. But remember, this is a very low power miner. This only cost me about 88 cents a day to run at 10 cents per kilowatt hour for electricity, meaning that this is earning more than it's burning at a 51% ratio, right? This is outperforming the E9 Pro on the day-to-day earnings, but there is a bit of a price discrepancy between all these miners. At the end of the day, it's not all that exciting to spend a couple grand and make $1 a day. While I am thankful for the opportunity to review Jazz miners, and that's all made possible thanks to Jingle Mining, they're proud to be the primary distributor and reseller of these miners. Looking at these miners and the performance and the price, right, for $1,000 you can get into one of these, okay, right? And so if it's $1,000, we're gonna do some easy math here, pretty easy math, and you're making about $1 a day. That's going to take you about 1,000 days to break even. That's 3 years. That's a long time. Let's compare that to the X16P. That's supposed to be making about $9 a day, right? X16P is coming in at $9.73 with profiting $5.17 and a cost of $73.73, 5.7. That'll actually take us longer to break even in comparison. And you may not be feeling super inspired with this pitch here, and I get that. My biggest gripe with Jazz miners is they're just too expensive. They have consistently been too expensive. And these are miners that should cost seriously half their price. Because even at a 500-day break even and a 700-day break even, I gotta be bullish to grab those. I mean, crypto's rapidly changing and miners seem to be advancing at a very fast pace again. So in 1,400 days, I can assure you this won't be the best Ethereum Classic miner. It's already not the best Ethereum Classic miner. It's worrisome. This is their latest release. It's the X16Q Pro. They're miners. I like the form, I like the fit, I like the finish. I think they look cool. I think they really are quiet like they are marketed as. But it's just, they need to be cheaper or they need to earn more. That profitability needs to be higher, because this is the kind of situation that really just has the manufacturers making bank and me hoping that one day if I bought this at full price that I would, be hoping to break even on. And it's seriously a very big bad lacking feature to not be able to dual mine ZIL in addition to mining Ethereum Classic, right? Because normally most of these Ethereum Classic miners that can dual mine would end up mining roughly about their electricity cost right now in ZIL. So that would only be 55 coins. It's not all that much, but percentage wise, especially on this device, substantial increase. So let me know your thoughts on the Jasminer X4Q and the other Jazz miners and Ethereum Classic mining in general. Personally, Ethereum Classic, whether you love or hate it, has stood the test of time, and it produces very many coins per day for miners. I think that miners should start taking ETC a little bit more serious and be thankful for the cryptocurrencies that are still on proof of work mining algorithms that can still be mined. And whether that's with an ASIC, which are these purpose-built custom computers that normally only mine 1 or 2 mining algorithms or very similar mining algorithms, or it's multi-purpose hardware capable, like you can GPU mine it or you can CPU mine it. I'm truly seriously just thankful to have coins that can be mined, because most coins that are launched, right? They're tokens, like all the meme coin mania. Imagine if you could mine all these meme coins. Mining would be just nuts, ballistic, insane, bananas. And then you look at all the layer 2 networks and things like that, right? What if you would have been able to mine Arbitrum, Optimism, even some of the crazy recent airdrops like Starknet, Layer 0, and many others? It would just completely change cryptocurrency's dynamic. And the fact that these networks are getting around being labeled a security through airdrops, seemingly, sort of, for the most part, maybe, it doesn't really bode well for some kind of grand return to mining as like, oh, you have to make it mineable so that the governments don't come after you, because then it is truly decentralized. Because there's nothing decentralized about these cryptocurrency tokens. They're VC coins most of the time. So anyway, I guess that's my little rant here at the end. I'm Vosk here on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. This is our CMO, our Chief Mining Officer. It's of course Tails Vosk. Goodbye.